Welcome all, this is Vernier UK and here is my top 10. Ground rules are as follows. All games date back no further than the last console generation, and while listed 1 through 10, this is no indication of favouritism, rather more an indication of my slow descent into disorganised chaos. Today's episode focuses on voice acting. If you disagree with any of these choices, please feel free to say so in the comments section below. First up at number 10, Thomas Was Alone.
Chris wondered if Thomas was still alive somewhere. He wasn't going to go looking for him, but he did wonder, and that showed character. Probably.
An indie puzzle platformer from the mind of Mike Bithell, this game received widely acclaimed recognition, especially so in the performance of its narrator, Danny Wallace.
Chris was in love. She was perfect. He had to tell her so.
Fantastic character development is achieved with tiny quadrilaterals through this performance. That is no easy task. If you have yet to play this game, play this game. You will not regret it. In at number 9, Bastion. Listen to this.
The dead. The dead ain't gotta worry about this mess. Our world. She's done. But there's a way to put her back together. So better get ready.
That fantastic monologue was done by Logan Cunningham, the man responsible for the narration of this game. As I plan to do a spotlight on Supergiant games and the fantastic title Bastion and future titles by the company, I won't mention too much more. All I'll simply say is, if you haven't tried Bastion, why haven't you tried Bastion?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
It shouldn't really come as any great surprise that the Stanley Parable should be on this list. Is this a game, and does it really matter? The performance by Kevin Brighting was simply sublime. This title helps you to develop more nuanced thoughts about this medium as a whole, and Intangent does so with a fantastic sense of humour. If you check out the video description down below, I've included a link to the Stanley Parable's Raphael trailer. I definitely think you should check that out if you want to see more the sense of humour that's presented in this game.
Takes a certain animal cunning, lad. Do you think you might be ready for that? What have we got?
In at number 7, Noire. Produced by Team Bondi and published by Rockstar, this game had an awful lot of money pumped into it. Of all of the AAA gimmicks to come out over the last few years, I do feel that motion scan actually has some sense behind it. To clarify, motion scan utilises HD cameras in the aid of superior motion capture. To this end, Noire is not so much about voice acting, but acting full stop, something I feel it does very well.
Is that a deal?
Is it ever? I can't thank you enough.
Well, I reckon you didn't do it then. People will up and go mad when they believe their life is over.
In the road!
This other time...
The Walking Dead is our number 6, a personal favourite of mine. When I was a kid, zombie films were a bit of a niche product. Like many subculture phenomena, it's kind of grown into its own. Some themes presented in this rendition of the Walking Dead universe are truly meaningful, particularly parental themes. The zombies are merely an entertaining set piece for a world which really highlights questions about what it means to be human. As for being able to present these questions, well, it's a steep task for any accomplished actor. And yet, the voice acting within this series is executed with style, not only by the main cast but by everyone.
What if it's true?
Do I need to remind you what is out there?
Yet another take on our eventual apocalypse comes in at number 5. In 2013, there was really only one game that could stand tall alongside Grand Theft Auto 5. at least in terms of critical acclaim. Developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Online Entertainment, I give you The Last of Us. The voice acting done by Troy Baker as Joel and Ashley Johnson as Ellie, in my eyes, gives rise to this. In this cinematic piece, their performance shines bright in the wasteland that they attempt to traverse. They, however, are not alone. The world is completely packed full of fantastic performances.
Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there.
It's been a long time.
No surprises here. Coming in at number 4 is the legendary Portal 2. GLaDOS is iconic in PC gaming. Actually, out of interest, I'm fairly certain Google is trying to build one with its recent acquisitions. Military robots and AI concerned. With the performance of Ellen McLean, the voice of GLaDOS is so iconic that even Guillermo del Toro added GLaDOS to his recent mecha monster smash Pacific Rim. Given the obvious fear I feel for sentient AI creation, I'm a little concerned for Google's future. What could their possible reasoning be?
For science, you monster.
Hello?
Nathan?
Jody, where are you?
They're back.
In at number 3 comes the cinematic game Beyond Two Souls. Developed by Quantic Dream and produced by Sony Entertainment, this title is more an interactive movie. A movie I definitely enjoyed. Its voice acting is graced by that of Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. Do I need qualify it more? These are big named voice actors putting their performances into games. What's more, this title was not too expensive for the AAA industry, despite the Hollywood acting and sublime music by Hans Zimmer. I've heard notable critics say this game does not have good writing in comparison to that of other media. I tend to disagree for what it's worth. I felt the story was far more compelling than that which graces most TV on a regular basis. All in all, my only true complaint is the lack of presence on PC.
For I am the Queen of Blades.
Freaking love Starcraft II. Really like Battlestar Galactica as well, actually. They have something quite important in common. Trisha Helfer certainly seems to have an interesting selection of roles under her belt. Her part as Kerrigan in Starcraft II fits like a glove. She has a serene but almost robotic seductiveness. It helps you to empathise with her even during the incredibly destructive paths she is forced into against humanity. It reminds me of the film Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. She will let nothing get in her way. And so we come to number 1. Without hesitation, I will say that it is Persona 4. Yep, Troy Baker's made it here twice. His excellent portrayal of Kanji's struggle trying to come to terms with his sexuality in the face of society's expectations is truly meaningful. It's somewhat sad that we've seen so few games deal with more complicated issues that have big impacts on human lives. It's just a missed opportunity. Needless to say, Atlus raised the bar with Persona 4. Well done. I hope you've enjoyed this top 10 list on voice acting. I certainly enjoyed making it. I'll be back soon with more content, so be sure to subscribe.